The Tursiops truncatus, more commonly known as the Atlantic bottlenose dolphin, is the most well-known animal of the cetacean order. This friendly and easily trained aquatic mammal can be found all year round throughout the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic bottlenose dolphins are generalists and feed on animals endemic to their region. Dolphins that live in coastal regions eat mostly benthic invertebrates and fish, while the diets of dolphins residing in offshore locations consist of pelagic squid and fish. They track their prey through high-frequency echolocation and a feeding strategy called fish whacking, where they strike fish with their fluke. The availability, access, and use of these fish and other prey regulate the population of the growth of the Atlantic bottlenose dolphin. As the populations of the available resources or prey of the bottlenose dolphin fluctuate, so does the succession rate of reproduction within the dolphin's population. An example of this availability is the overfishing of the dolphin's prey in 1999 off the coast of South Africa. The populations of the Atlantic bottlenose dolphins in KwaZulu-Natal and Namibia were directly affected by increased fishing of their prey. This shows how the population of the Atlantic bottlenose dolphin decreases as availability of resources dwindles. Other limiting factors once included being hunted for their meat, which was used for cooking, and their oil, which was used for lighting lamps. Today, laws exist that protect the dolphins from this limiting factor. Unfortunately, commercial fishing still indirectly affects the population of the Atlantic bottlenose dolphin. Instead of being hunted, dolphins are now often accidentally caught and entangled in nets and equipment. The Atlantic bottlenose dolphin originated from a common terrestrial ancestor who entered the water roughly 50 million years ago. Dolphins entered the water to catch prey more easily. Over time, the dolphins who carried traits which allowed them to swim better fed and reproduced more successfully. One of these traits which developed was the blowhole. Land animals have nostrils near the end of their snouts. As the dolphins became water-dwelling mammals, the trait for the blowhole was passed on through natural selection. The offspring of the successful dolphins carried their parents' traits, and the population evolved into what it is now. As a result, the evolution of the dolphins has created vestigial structures. Today, the Atlantic bottlenose dolphin still has bones resembling fingers because their ancestor had arms and legs when it lived on land. Modern dolphins also have two small rod-shaped hind pelvic bones which do not have obvious functions. The evolution of the Atlantic bottlenose dolphin has created vestigial structures and developed new features such as the blowhole, slender snout, and simple teeth which help better suit it for life in the water. Pakicetus is an early ancestor of modern whales and dolphins such as the Atlantic bottlenose dolphin and its relatives. Three of these DNA-related dolphins include the Atlantic spotted, Atlantic white-sided, and Atlantic humpback dolphin. It is clear that modern whales and dolphins share an ancient land-dwelling ancestor because of similarities in the shape of the head and many specializations in the ear. The skull of the early dolphin shows adaptations for holding down large, struggling prey underwater. The ear bones depict that it does not have external ears, but instead use the same method of hearing as modern whales, picking up vibrations through the jawbone. The position of the nostrils seen in this fossil evidence is another example of the Pakicetus evolution into the modern Atlantic bottlenose dolphin. The nostril, which developed into the blowhole, is a clear example of how natural selection can shape the evolution of a population. The Atlantic bottlenose dolphin and other organisms with relating homologous structures seen in this diagram further expands our view on how evolution can not only affect a specific species population, but the development of the entire world as a community.